Hello, fellow authors. How are you doing today? I hope you're having a great day. If you've never been here before, welcome to my channel. I am Jody Jean Daniels. My channel name is Just Right, and I'm very happy to have you here with me today. If you're returning, then hello, my whiskey. I hope you're having a good day. Today we are going to go over time management guide for authors. The first little bit that I'm going into the maximizing your productivity in your writing journey. I am going to be writing a self-help book on this that will also have a workbook. So I thought it would be a good way to involve my community as I'm doing that, to show you the process and go through its little PowerPoint presentations of the things you need to work on and just what those sessions are going to look like. So let me share my screen. All right. All right. There we go. So I want to go over this with you guys because I know that when I was starting out as a young author, I did not have the support group that I have now. I have a wonderful support group now through other authors and my husband and things like that. But when I was first writing, I was all over the place with how I would plan, how I would do things. And I really think the most important thing that I have took away from writing and being an author is time management and how important it is. I think that for me personally, I have a pretty good process now, but not everybody's process is going to be the same. So I could sit down and I could show you what I do in a day, how I do it, but that might not work for you. But these underlying rules, not rules, but thought processes, um, are kind of universal and will walk anyone through the situation. So let me hop to our next slide because the first step in understanding how you can manage your time as an author, or really any business for that matter, is understanding your habits. So, understanding your habits is a way that's going to help you set up your day to the best way that you can approach it. If you know when is the time you are most productive, when are you more apt to be distracted, and setting a realistic goal about that, then you are going to be in a place where you're setting yourself up for success. So, keeping in mind that writing, we normally, we write alone. It's not like we get up, get dressed, go into the office, have coworkers. We're alone about 80% of the time as writers. I know we have writing sprints and writing communities, and that's wonderful. But you have to rely on yourself so much because being a writer, when it comes down to it, you're an entrepreneur. You're doing this for yourself. So, knowing and setting realistic goals, knowing your product times, your most productive times, and your time wasters are going to be key. So, let's look at that a little bit deeper. In this slide, in the first box, what we're looking at is we're looking at 4 ways that our writing habits can equal success. The first box is you really need to figure out, when are you most productive? Are you a morning person that can get up early and get things done? Are you a night owl? You can only get things done late at night. Do you have a full time job? So you're going to have to write in the late afternoons, early evenings. So you have to figure out what your routine is, when you can be productive, because that's going to help you keep your focus about being excited about your work. All right. In the second box, we're looking at what are your biggest time wasters in the day? Is it Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, your own email? Um, just getting caught going down rabbit holes on Google. You have to figure that out. And to do that, next week I've created an assessment. So next week we are going to take an assessment together to help nail down these and then look and see how we can overcome them. The next box, box 3, right here. If you point, make sure you guys see where I am. This is what I'm calling box 3. We have to set realistic goals. Okay. It's very easy for us as creatives to get excited about a new process and be like, okay, I normally only write 1,000 words a day, but I'm going to start writing 3,000 words a day. And you get really excited. You come up with a plan, you put it all on your calendar, you have it all, planned out. But then something happens and you miss a day and you don't get anything written. Or you write one day and you only get 1,100 words and you start feeling down and you lose that momentum. Well, it's not because you've messed up or you failed or anything like that. No, it's because you didn't set a realistic goal for yourself. It's okay if you want to start writing more words and you just write 1,000 words a day. I would start out with saying, you know what? Next week, I'm going to try and write 1,100 words a day. Try that for a while. See how that works. Then you can slowly increase it. And that's just an example of one of the many goals that we tend to overshoot as writers. But the last block 4 over here, is you're not going to come up with your perfect plan and your writing success and understand all this and write it down and that's it. That's not going to happen because life is constantly changing. The only constant in life is change. So, what we have to do to be successful is we need habits that we can constantly tweak, that we can reflect on and look at. This is not a Billy Mays Hayes situation where we've got a crock pot and we're going to set it and forget it. No, that's not how this works. This is something that we are going to have to, not constantly, but we're going to have to look at it and tweak it as life happens. Okay. This screen, I printed this one out for you guys. I made this little cheat sheet, kind of everything we just talked about the foundations of productivity is understanding your writing habits, your optimal schedule, minimizing rather distractions, facilitating goal setting, encouraging regular reflection, and balancing your writing life. If you want to take a screenshot of this, that is fine. I'm going to leave it up just for a few more seconds here so you can get a screenshot. But just so you know, the entire PowerPoint presentation is going to be available on my Patreon should you want to join. It's just $5 a month, and I am always uploading content like this and like the digital assessment that we're going to do next week. I'm also going to have it on Patreon if you want a copy of that. So let's look at the next slide, which is the overview of everything that we have went through so far today. The reason it's so crucial for us to have effective time management, especially for creatives and authors, is if we don't have that steady foundation for how we're going to do what we need to do when we need to do it, our productivity is not going to reach its peak position. And we are not going to reach the level of success that we could have if we don't have a clear understanding of where we are in the process, of what we're doing during our day, and how we want to plan with our life schedule. Without this, you're going to fall into procrastination, putting things off, and it'll hinder you being able to write your book. And like I always say, if you don't write it, nobody's ever going to read it. So that's what it boils down to as a novelist and an author is you have to write your book. Let's go to our next. All right. So we're coming to the end now. I want to say thank you for staying with me and listening this long. If you've got a question or any questions, don't worry. You can set up a time with me to talk to me on my Calendarly app. The link will be in the description box below. I know that the link says it's free through January, but I've extended it through February as a give back to the community. If you guys need to go over this or any writing process or ideas about your book, feel free to set up a 30-minute discovery call with me. It's just a coffee chat where we get on a Zoom call and we just chit chat about everything that you need help with. So let's go to the final slide. The video next week is going to be, like I said, the self assessment. If you already know that you need digital detox, I do have an assessment already loaded and on my Patreon if you want to join and take a look at that this week. But next week, the assessment that we're going to look at is we're going to cover looking at the writing habits as far as your writing schedule, time allocation for your writing, productivity analysis, environment assessment. Like, where do I write? When do I, what's my environment like? And then digital distractions. Probably digital distractions will be one that I feel everyone is going to have because that's just the nature of our world right now is we are always everybody's always on their phone. So figuring out ways to create that willpower to put the phone down and get your writing done is something that we're going to look at together because I too am very guilty of it. I will be honest. I am. All right. So let me hop back over so I can pop myself on the screen. I don't know where I am. There we go. Sorry, guys. But I hope that you found this interesting and helpful. I will be doing a series of these, like I said before, and I just want you guys to know that I'm here for you. If you need help with anything, if you are struggling in your right, whether you're a new writer or you've been doing it for a while, no matter what it is, if you're struggling with something, I am here for you. Just set up an appointment with me in my Calendarly, and I will gladly walk you through and hold your hand through anything. So I hope that you guys have a great day. This is probably going to come out on a Thursday. So then I will see you guys tonight during our live sprints. Yay! But I love you guys. Thank you for always being here for me, and I will always be here for you. Bye.